Well, Josh, I want to understand this if I can, because there's the tax issue, and I understand you're against the tax, and you don't want $1 trillion in taxes to the corporations. But on the climate side, are you saying we need a carbon tax, maybe a border adjustment tax as well, and let the markets take care of it? Or, by and large, is Business Roundtable open to the government actually spending some money on climate, things like charging stations, other investment in infrastructure?
Yeah, open to both. The concern in a lot of business with respect to dealing with climate is overly prescriptive and difficult regulation that actually distorts the market. We're only going to be able to solve this climate problem by unleashing the innovation of the private sector. And the private sector needs a market signal to make the right kinds of innovations that are going to be sustainable and address the climate change in the long run. And that means putting a price on carbon. But by the way, that means there are also a lot of investments that need to be made by government in research and development and in stuff like charging stations. Those are all on the positive agenda as far as the Business Roundtable is concerned. What's on the negative side, though, at the moment is overwhelming, because the $1 trillion tax increase, just to size it for you, David, is roughly 3 times larger over a similar period than the Trump tax cuts of 4 years ago. So what's on the table is the prospect of very badly undermining the competitiveness of U.S. business in a way that puts us back to a situation substantially worse than corporate taxation before the 2017 tax cuts, which almost everybody agreed was out of line.
Josh, finally, let me put you back in your old job as Chief of Staff to President George W. Bush. President Biden now is heading over to this COP26 meeting in Glasgow. He's had a bumpy time of it the last month or two, I think it's fair to say. If you're in the White House, how do you get the initiative back on your side, whether it's COP26 or more broadly?
Well, bringing allies together is not only great PR in this kind of circumstance. It's very badly needed, and so getting agreement from our friends and allies on a responsible path forward is a great way to do it. But if I can take us back for a second to the tax issue, which is what my members are really concerned about at this moment, what the administration has been proposing and a lot of what is pending on the Hill would give the United States the highest corporate tax rate, or close to the highest corporate tax rate of anybody President Biden will be meeting with. We're supportive of an effort to get a global minimum tax in place, but what's on the table goes way beyond anything that they're even discussing making as a global minimum tax. So if you want to be a leader, have the United States in the lead in this kind of endeavor, and bring our allies together, bring them together on a solid basis, and don't hamstring American business.
Okay, thank you so much, Josh. Always love talking with you. That's Josh Bolten. He's president and CEO of the Business Roundtable. This is Balance of Power on Bloomberg Television and Radio.